So this conversation came up based off of the short that I posted today, or the clip that I posted today. Um, and it got started between Captain and Yogi, and I was so impressed. Honey, when I use the word impressed, you really still scared that you're in trouble? So I was so impressed by this conversation. For those of you who are not patrons, if you want to be, come and join this amazing global kinky community. Patreon.com/LXerotica. But if you're not a patron, you're not on Discord. One, you're missing out. But two, I wanted to give you a little bit of a sneak peek as to like how awesome these people are in this community. Because I posted today about emotional boundaries for femdoms. And then earlier in the week, I had posted specifically about not subscribing to the subcentric hierarchy of subs needs, then doms needs, and subs or doms wants, and then subs wants. And because I think too many times kink or desires for play, whatever, get put into the need category, get mislabeled, misidentified as a need, and then it gets weaponized against the dominant. If you want the full logical, beautifully written post, go follow me on Instagram at AlexErotica. But I posted that, and this was the reply to that. And if you've been following me for any length of time and you're a very diligent watcher, you may have heard me talk about how kink and BDSM is actually, when we're talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's like a pyramid. And at the top of the pyramid, it's called self-actualization. And in that category is BDSM and play and kink and all these fun, beautiful ways that we can express ourselves and explore creatively, emotionally, physically, sexually, relationally, right? But we cannot get there if our basic needs, food, clothing, shelter, etc., are not met, and they go into like psychological needs, all that. So anyway, kink and BDSM is at the very, very top of the pyramid. Therefore, it's not a need, but it gets misidentified as such, and then it gets weaponized. And so to that point, Captain kind of took what he had heard me say then, and then mix it with that little reel that I posted on Instagram. And this is where it brings us into this conversation. It was so good. Captain writes exactly this, what I was saying about the subcentric hierarchy, exactly this. For us, in their dynamic, needs, wants, and expectations are completely separate from our kinks and play in our negotiation. You can't demand play or kink as a need. That's the top of the pyramid self-actualization stuff. It's extra and not mandatory. When hard times come, and they will, you will need to be able to fall back to the basics and just keep that going. If you're trying to put self-actualization stuff, play, kink, etc. before any of the other needs, your foundation is not going to be stable. Do you guys hear the wisdom in that comment? Because it's spot on. What happens if you were to flip the pyramid upside down? We now have this like sturdy base, and it goes like that, right? What happens if we flip the pyramid upside down? This becomes our base. Okay? This becomes our base. This tiny, sharp point that's incredibly unstable. And that's what happens. That's why I have a zero tolerance policy for topping from the bottom, for emotional manipulation, especially around the language of I need this kink, because it's not a fundamental need. And if we flip that dynamic and claim that it is, the entire dynamic, the entire structure of the relationship, the entire power exchange that you claim to crave will actually crumble, because it cannot be sustained on that unstable foundation.